Dying Matters Week, it's a national event this year starting on the 18th of May. Why I think dying matters is really important is, I guess, because like all of us, I'm going to die and so is everyone else. And I think that we live in a society now where it's really difficult sometimes for many of us really to get to grips with what dying is all about, and really that it's I suppose not just an inevitable part of living, but a natural part of the way we bring all of what our lives mean to us to a conclusion. So at a personal level, I've been involved in end-of-life care for many years. In fact, in an earlier part of my career, I actually worked in a hospice, and I did a lot of work with people who at that time were dying of cancer, who are in the terminal stages of their illness. But since then, dying matters, and everything we think about now in terms of end-of-life care is about all sorts of conditions. It's about how we help children with life-limiting illnesses to live well and to help their own families and other brothers and sisters to live well. It's also about thinking of the fact that many of us are going to live to a very ripe old age, probably with many long-term conditions, living at home and knowing we have to be supported by society, but also by our own friends and family. So I think that what we need to do is think about dying matters in terms of our own lives, but also in terms of those around us. I think that there are very many practical ways we can think about dying. We can think about the practicalities of whether we've made a will, what we think we want to do with the sort of material effects of our lives. But I think we can also think through and have conversations with our own families about what matters to them as they grow older. What sort of funeral do people want? What sort of care do I want at the end of my life? Do I want to die at home if I had my choice, surrounded, in my case, I have to say, by all my rubbish and all my hoarding and my sort of personal possessions with me? Or would I rather die in a hospital or a care home or somewhere like a hospice which specialises in enabling people to have a good death? And there's no one single answer to any of that. All of those are really important questions. And I think overall, the most important thing about Dying Matters Week is that we can actually bring dying out of the shadows and think about the fact that we all will die, and that we want to think about what that will mean to us as individuals and to those who surround us in our lives, our families, our work colleagues, all of those who are important to us. And really, I think dying matters, if you think about it carefully, really helps each of us to evaluate the purpose of our lives, what we've done. And I know it sounds a paradox, but if we think a lot carefully about our own death, what we may find is actually that we can begin to appreciate and to live our lives in the moment more fully and with greater satisfaction than perhaps many of us manage to do. So that's why I think Dying Matters Week is important for all of us.